Je jure devant le peuple
I swear before the people of Burkina Faso and on my honor to preserve, respect, uphold, and defend the Constitution, the Charter of Transition, and the laws, to make every effort to guarantee justice to all inhabitants of Burkina Faso.
pour garantir la justice à tous les habitants du Burkina Faso.
At just 34 years old, Ibrahim Traoré emerged from the ranks of Burkina Faso's military to become not just a national leader, but a symbol of transformation, resistance, and bold vision in a time of crisis. In this video, we break down the top 10 achievements of Ibrahim Traoré and explore how his short term in office has already left a powerful mark on the West African landscape. This is AfriWorld. Thanks for watching. 10. Africa's youngest head of state. On September 30th, 2022, following a second coup in under a year, Captain Ibrahim Traoré assumed the presidency of Burkina Faso, making him the youngest leader on the African continent and one of the youngest heads of state globally. At 34, his rise was not merely symbolic. It reflected growing frustrations among the youth and military over government inactions, corruption, and insecurity. His age became a rallying point for young Burkinabe, who saw him as a chance for fresh ideas and radical change.
I don't even want Captain Traoré to respect the ECOWAS calendar. ECOWAS has never solved the problem in Africa.
9. Swift military reforms. One of Traoré's first acts was to overhaul the military leadership, removing senior officers viewed as ineffective or compromised. He increased funding and logistical support for troops, prioritized air surveillance and drone deployment, and fast-tracked weapons procurement. He also expanded and reconstructed the Volunteers for Defense of the Homeland (VDP), a civilian militia group, training and arming thousands of locals to defend their communities. These reforms significantly improved morale among troops and frontline fighters. 8. Reclaiming national territory. In a country where jihadist groups once controlled nearly 40% of the territory, Traoré's leadership marked a turning point. By launching Operation Cordogo and other joint military efforts, the government claimed to have liberated several towns, reopened roads, and restored local governance in previous lost areas. Notably, his administration began organizing safe convoys to deliver humanitarian aid to cut-off regions, showing both military and civilian coordination. 7. Cutting colonial ties. Perhaps one of his most internationally controversial decisions, Traoré ordered the withdrawal of French troops stationed in Burkina Faso and closed down the French military base in Ouagadougou. He also demanded the closure of Radio France Internationale and the suspension of France 24. This assertive break from France's long-standing presence reflected a broader push to reclaim national sovereignty and sparked similar sentiments in neighboring Sahel nations. 6. Strategic alliances with new partners. Traoré didn't just cut ties, he replaced them. His government quickly moved to establish military and economic partnerships with Russia, Turkey, Iran, and China. Through these alliances, Burkina Faso has received drones, helicopters, ammunition, and military trainers. In particular, Russia's Wagner-linked support provided advanced equipment and intelligence. China has also increased infrastructure investments, while Turkey has supplied combat gears and technical support. 5. Promotion of Pan-Africanism. Traoré has consistently voiced a strong Pan-Africanist ideology, inspired by figures like Thomas Sankara. He speaks of African unity, anti-imperialism, and the dream of self-sufficiency. He has worked closely with leaders from Mali and Niger, pushing for a shared defense strategy and long-term economic integration. His speeches call for an African that controls its own resources, defines its own security, and build its own future. Ideas that resonate deeply with disillusioned populations across West Africa. 4. Media reform and sovereignty messaging. Information has become a battleground, and Traoré knows it. He has taken decisive steps to counter what his administration calls foreign propaganda, suspending or banning media outlets seen as undermining national stability. State media now regularly broadcast updates from the front lines and profiles of local defenders, reinforcing a sense of national pride and resilience. 3. Youth mobilization. With over 60% of the population under the age of 25, Burkina Faso's future lies in its youth, and Traoré knows this. His government has launched youth enlistment campaigns, civic training programs, and national debates in schools and universities. He frequently addresses young people directly, calling on them to be sentinels of the revolution and active participants in the nation's rebirth. 2. Economic self-sufficiency drive. Facing sanctions and reduced aid, Traoré's government has doubled down on domestic production and local solutions. It has encouraged community farming cooperatives, boosted support for small-scale gold miners, and prioritized the use of local contractors for public works. There is also a renewed push for food security, with state-supported seed distribution and irrigation projects. Though still in early stages, these moves reflect a long-term goal, a Burkina Faso that feeds, funds, and sustains itself, independent of foreign charity or control. 1. Formation of the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. Perhaps his most visionary achievement, Traoré, alongside leaders of Mali and Niger, co-founded the Alliance of Sahel States, a pact focused on mutual defense, coordinated counter-terrorism, and regional development. This alliance has proposed creating joint military forces, a shared bank, and even a common currency in the future. The AES represents a bold alternative to ECOWAS, signaling a realignment of political power in West Africa and the birth of new regional identity grounded in shared struggle and sovereignty. Ibrahim Traoré may have only just begun his presidency, but he is already shaping the Sahel's political map. One bold decision at a time, loved by some, criticized by others. There is no question he's leading a movement that dares to challenge the status quo. What do you think of his impact so far? Are his changes sustainable or risky? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth into African politics and world affairs. Until the next time, stay safe and stay blessed. Shalom, peace.